Alright, greetings and welcome back, gentles and ladiesmen, to episode 3 of Exo Plays Donkey Kong Country 3 on the Game Boy Advance. So, as I was talking about before, one of our gimmicks with Ellie is that she can suck up barrels from a distance, which is fun. It's a fun idea. Up over here we obviously have that coin there. Now, I do find that Ellie's controls are kind of slippery. It's one of those things, certainly if you played the original recently, let me know. Or even if you have it there, because I don't feel like digging out my cart and plugging it in the SNES right now. But in this game, definitely, she's a bit slippery for my taste. Like she has the same controls as Rambi from the first and second games on GBA in terms of how she moves. And she has all the same problems. Can you hit him, please? There we go. Somewhere around here is kind of an annoying bonus room, so keep our eyes peeled for that, kiddies. But yeah, I do think that the original SNES track for these Riverbank levels is better than this whatever this song is that's playing right now when you're not underwater. So I will give it that. The original version of this game, that's an easy bonus room right there. I don't know, maybe I was a little harsh on the bonus rooms in 3 when I reviewed the game. Because, you know, as I've said a million times, that input lag on the Game Boy player is nothing to sneeze at, and if you're playing all those green banana missions without the... you know, with input lag and terrible scaling and all that shit, then yeah, it's gonna make them more annoying to play. So maybe that was my problem. Because I played the SNES version through Virtual Console for the review, which has input lag as well. Virtual Console has input lag, you heard it here first. It's pretty noticeable for me. But lost my train of thought. But honestly, if you want my honest opinion, I don't think, getting back to the soundtrack anyway, I don't think Evelyn Novakovic is an especially great composer. And I didn't see any of that, so we get to do it again. There we go. I don't think Evelyn Novakovic is an especially good composer. She's fine. Her melodies are passable, but they focus way too much on ambience, to the detriment of all the other elements at play. And this boss is really easy, so I don't know how I managed to screw that up. This is Arich. He's a giant spider, like the little, you know, the little spiders with the platforms on their backs. Those are called nids. You know, the last part of arachnid, and then this is the first part of arachnid, Arich. And I died on Arich in this playthrough. I think I might need to trade in my Donkey Kong Country fan card again. But really, this boss is super easy. All you have to do is grab the barrel from up here, and then jump into his face with it. You can also try throwing it into his eye, or his face rather, but I find it's easier just to, you know, just to jump into his head with it. And now that we've gotten onto the third hit and onwards, he's gonna start spitting these little green balls. I'm not sure what they're supposed to be, like maybe they're acid or something, poison. But all you have to do is set down your barrel and then duck in the corner, and none of them will ever hit you. I mean, I guess if you don't know, like, those things can break your barrels if they get touched. So yeah. Oh, sorry. Just set down the barrel, duck in the corner, and you know, once the green balls go away, just pick up the barrel again and hit him with it, and that's all she wrote. And Cranky just walked through a tree. Very good, Kongs. No more web-spinning fun for that eight-legged freak. I'm sure Funky will put that patch to good use. Go see him now. And that's it. That's it for Kremwood Forest, everyone. And as you can see from this pause menu, no status screen. So if you want to check to see if you've gotten all your bonus rooms and whatnot, and all your coins, as you can see, the levels are marked with flags in this game. If you haven't beaten the level, it's a Kremling flag. If you've beaten it with Dixie or Kitty, it'll be pink or blue, respectively. And if the flag is up at full mast, that means that you found all the bonus rooms. If there's that little yellow flag is up, that means you found the coin as well. For some reason, they took out the exclamation point system from the previous games. But, you know, the flag is enough, but still, it's just like, would it really have taken that much development time to put a status screen in this game like all the other ones? Like, I can't help but feel that, like, even with whatever time constraints they were working with, they were just a bit lazy with this. But whatever. So here we have another new character we can talk to, Blunder. I've been watching your progress for a while, Kongs. The name's Blunder, but you can call me Mr. Blunder. So, you think you're going to find everything in the game, do you? You don't even know there's a lost world, do you? Whoops, I think I just let the cat out of the bag. So, you've got this far, have you? Big deal. You haven't even found the lost world yet. And that's on the main map. Right, that's it, I'm leaving. You're not getting any more clues from me, so there. How's it going, heroic Kongs? I'm not surprised you're stuck. You haven't even searched around the rocks. Get out! Get out of my shack and stop making a monkey out of me! Yeah, Blunder's kind of a dick, but at any rate, thanks to those lovely hints from our friend, Blunder, or I guess we can, I don't know if we can call him a friend because he's kind of a dick to us. A patch? Oh yeah, this is just what I needed. Hang on for just a couple of seconds, Kongs, and I'll whip up a cool new tub for you to rub-a-dub-dub. So that's a gimmick in Donkey Kong Country 3. So basically, as we're playing through these worlds, sometimes when you beat a boss, you'll get an item, and then getting that item will unlock new boats for you to ride around in. And those new boats will allow you to access new parts of the map. Now that we have more money, we can go pay a visit to our friend, Bazaar. So then, how may I be of assistance to you? Yeah, well, it's, I guess this is all we can afford. It's a deal. I hope you're very happy together. See you so long, bye-bye. I can't remember where you get the shell in the original. No, you still buy it from, Bazaar, I think. We might as well go talk to Wrinkly because she's not nearly as common in this game. If you spot Cranky on your travels, tell him his dinner's gone cold. Bye-bye, Kongs. Try to find some of those nice banana birds. Alright, now with that said, we can go play the second funky mission. I'm the Tower of Power, too sweet to be sour. Yo, Kongs, got anything new yet? Right, dudes, you ready for this? Need to steal the floating mines from the Kremlings before they can cause mayhem. They won't be happy about it, so expect a chase. Use your excellent steering skills to bring the mines across the safety zone marked with the buoys. Alright, so this mission's pretty simple, but it can be deceptively hard if you get in a bad rut. Basically, the gimmick is we have a Kremling chasing after us. There are these 4 mines on the opposite side of the map. We gotta grab each of them and bring them back to the safety zone. And then they'll go in the center and blow up. Now, that Kremling is out for blood. If he catches up to you, he's gonna ram into you until you die, so don't let him do that. It's not too hard. Like, another thing is, much like the racing sections in Jak 2, your vehicle has a limited amount of abuse it can take. Every time you slam into a wall, for example, you're gonna lose health. And if you lose all your health, obviously you're gonna die, and then you have to restart the mission. So, yeah, avoid the walls. And that can be kind of annoying, because the controls are, it's basically a tank control scheme. Like, when you press right or left, it steers the boat in a certain direction. which it feels fine, it makes sense. I guess it is kind of annoying that's a little bit different from how the boat controls on the world map. And I swear I found these levels, or these missions a lot harder when I was playing. Oh, excuse me. I was playing, doing my practice playthrough on an actual Game Boy Advance. So I actually, honestly, I'm playing this obviously with the DS capture card on full screen on my monitor, and that makes it a lot easier. Well done, dudes. You've cleared the river of those blasted mines. Here, take your reward. And that's it. Bust a move, got a groove. Hey, hey, Funky's in the zone. Cash is not a problem, Kongs, because my boats are up for loan. Alright, so here is the second vehicle we have just unlocked. This is the, I think it's called the Hovercraft, but it's basically you float around in a giant tire, and when we defeated Arich, we got a patch, and Funky used that patch to basically prevent air from escaping from that tire so that we could float along. Some of the later Banana Bird caves get really obnoxious. Like, there would be like 10 steps, or like 15 steps you have to memorize, and it's just like, at that point, I just start writing them down because I don't fucking care at that point. By the time, it's gonna be a while till we get to that, actually, so, yeah. Here's another Brothers Bear we can visit real quick. You've got one, a perfect Floparius petalus pongus. Would you let me have it? I'd be ever so grateful. You are too generous, Kongs. Here, take this beautiful rose in exchange. Alright, so, as you might remember, what's-his-face man, Bachelor Bear, said that he was looking for a rose and a box of chocolates for his hot date. So whenever you get that's one of two down, and then the chocolates are obviously back at bazaars. But we'll need like 25 coins to buy those, so it's gonna be a while before we'll be able to do it. You might have noticed that they took out the little jingle from when Krematoa appears. Like in the original version of the game, when the volcano would surface, it would go play a little jingle. They took that out for this version. Okay, so over here, there's another NPC we can meet, and there is this guy, or, you know, another Cranky's Dojo, but like I said, we're not going to be going to more of those because they're all the same thing. Hello, Boomer's the name, blowing things up is the game. The rest of the folks have set me up here, said I was too dangerous or something. My brothers might be happy with those dull bear coins, but I'm only interested in the gold ones with B on them. If you could find 18 coins, I'll get this beauty primed and ready to blow. Then you'll see why they call me Boomer. Fancy giving me some coins then? Go on, have a go. Good one, Kongs. That's bought you one of Boomer's specials. So, this is our lost world for Donkey Kong Country 3. Krematoa. By the way, Kongs, did I mention that my last special cost 26 coins? But hey, it'll definitely be worth it. So you might notice that the specials cost a few extra coins in this version. Yeah, I think they were like 15 or 16 in the original, and now they're 18. That's because there might be new levels in this game. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Okay. So I've got to be totally upfront and honest with you guys. I hate Krematoa. I think every single one of these levels in this world has a problem of some kind. It's one thing to make levels, you know, to have challenge and whatnot, that's fine. You know, whatever. But all there's a lot of stupid crap in these levels that I'm not a fan of. And this level is probably the worst thing. But to be honest, I don't have too much trouble with Stampede Sprint anymore. I think I said in my review that it was the worst level in a Donkey Kong game. and then I promptly retracted my statement once I played some other level. In Donkey Kong Land 1, probably? Like, every level in Donkey Kong Land 1 is a piece of shit. So I guess I'd rather play this than that, but still. Obviously, they couldn't think of a better place to put the bonus barrel, so they're just both right at the beginning, just like right there. At least we get to play somewhere with our animal buddy friends, because there isn't as much of that in this game as I would have preferred. Okay, so as we can see, we got these green bananas. Yeah, gotta collect the bananas real quick. So this one, I don't mind too terribly much because you can see what you're doing and, you know, the challenge is pretty clear. It doesn't feel like you're pressured with an unnecessarily strict time limit either, so that one's fine, I guess. The level, unfortunately, has problems. And, okay, so right here, you have to use Dixie's helicopter spin to clear that gap. And it's just their way of forcing you to get into the Ellie barrel. And that's the concept of this level, is we are Ellie the elephant, and Ellie is scared of the sneaks. That's something that I actually didn't get to show off in, I know, it was one of the levels in Lake Orangatanga, the one with the sneaks and the lights, the overhead flat floodlights. Basically, if one of those mice got in the floodlight, Ellie would see it and then get scared because elephants are scared of mice, didn't you know? And so that's the concept of this level, is Ellie has been scared shitless by a pack of sneaks and is now running full speed ahead like a train. And you cannot, this is basically a mock speed section from Sonic 06 is what this is. You can't slow down, all you can do is jump. Which is fine. You could say that this is the same thing as the rocket barrel levels from the Returns games, but honestly, the reason that those levels were fun while this isn't is because I could barely see what I'm doing. Like, especially in the GBA version with the smaller screen size. Like, screen panning is fine, but honestly, they could have moved it all the way forward. Like, there's no reason not to. It's not like I need to see what's behind me or anything. Since I can only go one direction anyway, they should have moved the camera forward a little more if you ask me. So, fortunately for me, I'm playing this on the DS capture card, so I have 0 latency. I have no input lag on this. But, if you're playing this on the Virtual Console, or if you are like, you know, the SNES version, if you're playing the SNES version on the Virtual Console, if you're playing the GBA version on the Game Boy Player with the input lag, if you have an original cart and console for SNES and Donkey Kong Country 3, and you're playing it that way on basically a digital display, you're gonna get input lag something awful, and those few milliseconds of lag completely kill this level. This level is entirely based around you playing this on a CRT with 0 input lag. So if your gaming setup has any lag whatsoever, this level just got a hell of a lot more annoying for no reason, and that to me is dated game design. When you design your levels so strictly around the latency and timings of a CRT, like, obviously that's all that people had back then, so I can't necessarily blame them, but still, it makes the game more annoying to play in today's day and age, because people don't really own CRTs anymore. They're hard to come by, in my experience. And, you know, obviously I've got the FrameMeister to use to eliminate input lag when I play the SNES version again. And obviously if you're playing the GBA version on original hardware, lag isn't as big of a problem, but still, I don't think this level is especially fun to play. I'm not a fan of the limited cramped visibility. I'm not a fan of the fact that I barely have time to react to what's happening. And to rub salt in the wound even further, you have to carry Perry throughout this entire level. If Perry gets killed by, and I think it is a little bit easier in this version, honestly, because of the smaller sprites and the smaller hitboxes, you can actually go under some of those buzzes that you would have to jump over in the original. Let's kill our coin real quick, and do not lose this barrel, because if the barrel fucks up, you have to replay the entire stage just to get another shot, so... yeah. Alright, so... you have to carry Perry to the end of the stage because Perry unlocks this bonus room. And I do have to give the GBA version credit, they actually made this bonus room a hell of a lot easier. The bonus version of this bonus room in the original game, that buzz down there was all the way at the top of the screen, so whenever you jumped, Perry would risk going into him, and this, you more have to avoid contact damage for Dixie, which is fine, I guess. And yeah, so that's the first level of Krematoa done and over with. Honestly, I have a lot of practice with this level at this point because, after all, I did the Game Mavericks run of the SNES version only about 5 or 6 months ago, so it's only been about half a year since I last played this game compared to the others, and I just did another practice playthrough, so I can beat this level with relatively little issue now. That doesn't make it a good level, and it certainly doesn't make it a fun level to play. So you can say that Stampede Sprint is not that bad of a level, but is it a fun level to play? I don't think so, personally. And that, to me, makes it a failure either way. I would much rather play Clobber Carnage than this level, but... frankly, that's only the tip of the iceberg with Krematoa. Like, in terms of... honestly, really, the only problem there are only really 2 problems with Stampede Sprint, and that's the visibility and the input lag situation, if that applies to you. The other levels don't have those issues, but suck on their own merits, so we'll be getting into that later. Yeah, that's all I can show off for Donkey Kong Country 3 for now. We have finished 2 worlds. We finished the first level in Krematoa. And by the way, usually when I play Krematoa before this point, I do all the levels in one sitting, which is the biggest fucking pain in the ass you could possibly put yourself through. So for my practice playthrough, I took my own advice from the DKC2 GBA playthrough and tried playing it more like how I would play the Lost World in that game, where I play one level for every other world. And I find that Krematoa is much less of a hassle that way, so that's how I recommend you tackle this. Don't save all 5 of these levels for the end of the game, just do them whenever you have enough coins. So yeah, that was part 3 of the playthrough. Join me in part 4, and we will move on to some of the new worlds that unlocked after Kremwood Forest. Until then, I'm Exo Paradigm Gamer, and I hope you enjoyed the episode.